So first question I have for you. Now, not every app can be coded in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? So what is it best suited for? What types of apps?
Well, that's a great question. I would say the first thing that pops to mind are content-heavy apps, where you're doing a little bit of navigation, but you're displaying a lot of rich content. So that's probably the first thing that jumps to mind.
Right.
It's not great for immersive game experiences. You wouldn't want to be writing all that canvas code.
Right.
But it's great for a large majority of apps that are in the App Store.
Right. So is the primary benefit the availability across platforms? Is that why developers should choose to go this route?
There are a bunch of reasons. The web is obviously great at distribution. You just email a URL to someone.
Sure.
That's for sure. And then the cross-platform nature of it. There's so many WebKit devices. There's so many devices that WebKit runs on that that's a nice advantage. But one that people don't often think about is testing. If you have an application that you want to test with hundreds or maybe thousands of users, it's pretty difficult to do, at least in the Apple model. You have a very limited number of people you can have beta test an app. So I think testing is a huge advantage also.
So the whole iteration process probably works better there, right? What is PhoneGap, and what does it allow you to do?
Yeah, that's a good question. PhoneGap is really just wrapper code for the various platforms. So it's kind of like a Chromeless browser for all the different platforms that additionally exposes APIs that JavaScript can hook into to control hardware. Right. So it's really just a skeleton. It doesn't do anything. So you have to write all of your application code and everything in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But basically what it boils down to is you end up having JavaScript functions that you can call that would normally never do anything because it's the sandboxing of a web app.
I see.
You have heightened permissions, so you can reach outside of the browser and get at the camera, the accelerometer, the contacts, that sort of thing.
All right.
They support a ton of platforms too.
So Google just came out with the App Inventor for Android. I was wondering what your take was on that.
I'm actually kind of excited about things like that. I'm all for lowering the barriers to creativity on the mobile platform. I think some hardcore developers probably will scoff at it as kind of a toy technology, but I really like it. One of the things that I have only seen it, I haven't gotten an invitation yet, but one of the things that disappointed me about it was that you can't download, it doesn't give you the actual source code, so you can't then extend what you started. That's kind of a drag. I wish, hopefully that would change. I don't know what their plan is, but in general, I like the concept though. I like putting tools in the sort of lowercase d democracy, of all the normal people that are just domain experts that want to build an app and solve their own problems. I love that.
So last question I have for you. Do you think that something similar to that will extend to other platforms and other, obviously, I mean, iPhone?
I know that there are a lot of private companies, a lot, I say, probably a dozen companies that have some sort of online WYSIWYG thing that they say gives cross-platform apps, makes them a viable product. It's tough to imagine because there are so many differences between the platforms. And the platforms are going farther apart, not closer together, but WebKit's going closer together, not farther apart. So the browser technology, I feel like, is the direction to go for if someone was going to build a tool that they wanted to run on a lot of different platforms, I think the web is probably the direction to go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So do you think that WebKit is sort of morphing into the HyperCard for iPhone, iPad, Android, any of these different platforms?
I'm going to ruin my geek cred, but I never used HyperCard, so I don't know.
All right. Okay.
I don't know.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thanks.